Hello friends, it is Kendra here with the Prosperous Projector, and I'm coming at you today on the 1st of February to share with my projector entrepreneurs this new way of thinking, this idea that I want to share with you around focusing not so much on the how, but focusing on the who. So if you are here with me live or if you're joining the replay, I would love it if you will leave me a comment, say hello. If you're watching the replay, just put the comment #replay. I would love to connect with you. So let's talk about letting go of the how and focusing more on the who. So what I see a lot in the industry, right? I work with a lot of projector entrepreneurs who are coaches, healers, service providers, and you want to know the how. How do I get more clients? How do I show up and receive the invitations that I desire? How do I create my marketing strategy in such a way that works for me? How do I create a thriving business without burning out? How, right? And I want to offer you the opportunity to begin to instead focus on the who, right? The who is literally, it is about you. It's about who you are. It's about who you are being. And this is the key that I think most people miss out on when we're talking about building a business, right? Because it's not necessarily about having a six or multi-six-figure business. It's about becoming the person who has a six or multi-six-figure business. Because when you become the woman or the individual that can create a six-figure or multi-six-figure business, you know what happens? You can do it over and over and over and over again, right? This is why you can see some of the most wealthiest people go through bankruptcy, they can be sued, they go through all these financial, upheavals, they lose their money, and then what happens? They're wealthy again because they understand the principles, they understand what it means to be a person who is prosperous and who is wealthy. They can do it over and over again. So if you can focus your energy as a projector entrepreneur on who you are being, then you have the power to then create what you desire over and over and over again. And when you do that, nobody can take that from you. When you continuously work on your inner self, when you continuously work on up-leveling your personal power, nobody can take that from you, right? Things can be going crazy in your business. The market can do whatever it wants to do. All the things outside of you can be completely chaotic and crazy, right? But if you know how to be that woman, how to be that projector entrepreneur who creates the prosperity, who creates the joy, who creates the aligned invitations, then you can just keep doing it over and over again, all right? So I'm reading a book right now by Christine Kane. It's called The Soul Sourced Entrepreneur. This is a book that was recommended to me by my dear friend and colleague, Kate Barnes. And I'm reading this book, and she talks about, in the book, about there being two tracks in business, right? And when I read this, I was like, yes, this is what I've been saying the whole time. And so she talks about these two tracks in business. The first track in business is the strategy track, right? And this is the one that most of us, in the world of business, hear about all the time. The strategy track is the track that most of us are taught, yep, this is exactly what you need to create the business you desire, to create the success. We equate it to success. So the strategy track is all about things like, your marketing, your sales, your systems, your sequences, your operations, all of those pieces. And then she has what she calls the soul track. And I love this because I'm like, yes, this is the part that I love to geek out on with entrepreneurs, is the soul track. Because the soul track is kind of like where the rubber meets the road, right? The soul track is about your inner strategy. It is about building your personal power, increasing your personal power. This is about the energy behind the strategy. Because let's be real, you can have all the strategy in the world, you can be implementing that strategy all the live long day, but if on the inside, you're doubting yourself, you feel overwhelmed, your energy's not aligned, you're showing up in ways that aren't aligned for you, you're doing things that you think you should be doing instead of being authentic to yourself. If that energy is behind the strategy, then the strategy doesn't work. And that's where I find people are frustrated, right? As a human design projector, you become bitter because you're like, why is it working for them and it's not working for me? And so this is why this is a place that we really want to be paying attention to. And this is why I love to really support entrepreneurs in this avenue, on this track, the soul track, because this is what makes your business authentic. And so in the book, she uses a great example. She talks about a cupcake tin, right? So if you think about when you want to make cupcakes, you pull out a cupcake tin and it has these little 6 or 12 little, round, deep circles in it where you pour your ingredients, right, to create the cupcake. Now, the cupcake tin provides the necessary structure, right? That's the strategy. That's in your business, that's the strategy, the marketing. It's the framework that you might use, with your potential clients, things like that. That is the structure. But then the ingredients that fill that cupcake tin, those are what makes the cupcake unique. So for you, if you think of your business strategy as the framework, and then your soul, your essence, your alignment, that's the ingredients that you're putting into your business. That is what makes your business unique. It's the soul aspect of you. And so when we are not aligned, when we're not doing our inner work, when we're not aware of our patterns, when we're not aware of our beliefs, when we're consistently operating from energetic themes that don't support us, then the ingredients that we're putting into our strategy don't necessarily yield the best tasting cupcake, if you will, or the most aligned business that brings you joy, right? So this is what makes you unique, is your soul, is your heart, is your essence, right? And so this is why I want to invite you to really focus on 3 areas in your life and in your business. The first area is your awareness. The second area is increasing your skills and making aligned, powerful decisions. And the third piece is becoming the kind of woman who quite naturally creates her desires. And so when you do that, when you focus on those 3 areas, when you can understand how you're designed to show up in the world, then you can be more strategic and more aligned about what you do. And business and life doesn't feel so hard. It doesn't feel like you're pushing a boulder up the hill because you have a level of clarity. So let's talk about this awareness piece. Because when I work with my clients, awareness is like the first piece that we really dive into. And I help you to understand that awareness through doing a deep dive into your particular human design, right? Looking at your design as a projector. How are you designed to show up? What are the gifts that are in your human design chart? Where is the wisdom found in your human design chart? Where are the really sensitive and vulnerable areas in your chart which may cause you to get in your own way or to make choices or decisions that aren't the most aligned for you? And so when you can heighten your level of awareness and look at, okay, what are the narratives that you're telling yourself? And then disproving those narratives. So when we talk about the soul track in your business, this is you taking the time to really be relentless around your thoughts, your energy, your emotions, and your behaviors, right? When you want to build a successful business as a projector or any other human design type, it requires you to take personal responsibility for who you are, for who you are being, okay? So if you're looking at your awareness and you're noticing these narratives and these stories that aren't serving you, then your job is to start doing the work to disprove any ideas or any beliefs that aren't in alignment with your vision, okay? It's also being aware of what your vision is, right? Sometimes when I ask, individuals like, hey, what do you want? What is your vision? Where do you want to go? They don't really know the answer to that. They don't have a clear vision sometimes because they've been over here on the strategy track of business, burning themselves out, just trying to do the thing, and showing up in ways that aren't aligned for them until they're exhausted and they've lost sight of their vision and where they want to go. So part of the awareness piece here is also being really keenly aware of your vision and where it is that you want to go, right? Awareness is a choice. And I found that before we can even get to that state of awareness, you must be willing to, number one, go there and be honest with yourself. Are you being honest with yourself? Because it doesn't matter at what level you are in your career or your business, as you keep growing, as you keep ascending, you're going to reach new levels. You're going to reach new levels of awarenesses. And you're going to need to be able to look at those awarenesses and tap into, okay, is this serving me right now? Are these thoughts serving me? Are these beliefs serving me? Are these ways of being serving me? And if they are not, then what's your job? To disprove those ideas, those beliefs, and begin to install new beliefs, new ways of thinking, and new ways of being that are in alignment with your vision. So your biggest job, I believe, is to focus on building better and more supportive beliefs and visions for yourself. It's about matching your energy or your vibration with what you want to receive. So if you're saying, oh, I want to create this amazing business that helps, a lot of people in this world, and it generates, six figures a year, or I want to be, this amazing sought after designer or stylist, or I want to be this amazing healer for people, then you need to make sure that what you're feeling on the inside matches that. If you're wanting to be the best known and well known in your industry, then you got to have beliefs that match that. Because if you're not feeling like you're worthy enough, or that you're moving through imposter syndrome, and you feel like that, oh, who am I to do this? Then that doesn't match up with the vision, right? It doesn't match up with the vision. Hey everybody, I'm so glad you're here. I'd love it if you say hi in the comments. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay for me so I can come back and say hi. Your results are created always on the inside first. Right? So when we talk about manifestation, there's two parts to this. There's the internal piece where you've got to get super clear on what it is that you desire, what beliefs do you need to embody, what behaviors do you need. So this requires you to sit down and do some thinking, right? To really think, to plan, to get honest with yourself, to do like an inventory of your life and your energy and where you are. And then the second half of that manifestation is when it shows up in the physical world. But the piece that we sometimes lack is doing the work on the inner piece of the manifestation. Your job when it comes to creating the success you desire is to align with it, hold space for it, nurture it, and take steps that are in alignment with where you want to go, right? We've got to learn to build our resiliency up so much that we can still keep going and taking the action, holding our vision and believing in ourselves, knowing where we want to go, regardless of what's happening outside of us, regardless of what other people are saying, regardless if you don't get the amount of likes or love or comments on your post, regardless of anything that's happening outside of you, you've got to be able to hold it on the inside and operate from that place all the time. And that takes work, right? I'm not saying it's easy, right? It takes work. The next piece of this is decision making, right? Really increasing your skill around making decisions for you that are powerful and aligned. So it's about choosing to operate from these new beliefs and these new behaviors and these new boundaries that you set for yourself. So for example, today I did some journaling in my journal and I wrote out, I asked myself the question, what is just not good enough for me anymore? Right? And I got clear on what are some of the things that are no longer in alignment for me anymore. And I wrote those out. So then I'm clear, okay, these things are not good enough for me anymore. So then that means I get to release them or do the work to transition out of these things that aren't working for me anymore. I asked myself the question, what am I choosing? What energetic boundaries am I choosing around others as it pertains to my time, energy, my money, and my mindset? So I got really clear around what are my energetic boundaries? What am I no longer available for? Okay? And I invite you to ask yourself these same questions. What are you no longer available for when it comes to your time, your money, your energy, your mindset, and how you show up around other people? And so as I'm putting these things in my journal, it's one thing to write them down, but then I've got to make the decision to operate from those new boundaries every single day, right? And again, it takes work. It takes work to do this. And you got to ask yourself, am I willing to do this work to get to where I want to be? Setting these standards are important for you to know what your standards are so that you can operate from them. All right. And then the last part is about becoming, right? It's about repeating the process over and over again, because the more that you do what we've already been talking about here, you become a different woman. You become a different person. So right now I am what day am I on? I'm on day 31 of the 75 Hard Challenge. If you've never heard of that, it's a mental toughness challenge, and what you've got to do is you drink a gallon of water a day, you do 2 45-minute workouts, where one of them has to be outside, you read 10 pages of a personal development book, you follow an eating lifestyle, so I'm choosing to eat a non-inflammatory diet, you take a progress picture every day, and no alcohol, no cheat meals, right? So I've been doing this for 31 days, and it's interesting because as I am doing this, it's not easy, right? There have been aspects of this that feel a little bit more easy than others, but as I come up against my edges and discomfort of who I desire to be, I'm noticing that as I overcome that, I'm becoming a different woman. And that's showing, and that means that the way that I'm showing up in my life and my business is looking a lot different than when it used to look like 31 days ago. Okay? So becoming. And so each time you choose to be aware, each time you choose to be honest with yourself, each time you choose to shift your energy, each time you choose to lock in your decision, each time you choose to operate from your standards and your boundaries that you set, you are becoming. And as you keep doing this, after a while you look back and you're like, oh, like this is just who I am, right? So when you get clear on the kind of woman that you desire to become, you sit down and figure out what this is, you focus your energy on that, on the who aspect, on the soul track of your business, and then naturally the how that you're looking for begins to show up. And you don't have to spend hours racking your brain, trying to figure it out, trying to, look for all the answers. It's going to show up for you because of who you are being. All right. So I hope that this message inspired you today. I hope that it inspires you to take action. I hope that it inspires you to sit with yourself today and think about and contemplate the questions I shared with you from my own journal. I hope it causes you to contemplate what is your vision and what is your desire so that you can become who you desire to become. Right? And if you are desiring support around this, I currently have 3 spaces available in my one-to-one private mentorship containers. I work with projector entrepreneurs for 6 or 12-month time frames. And if that is you and you're ready to have someone right beside you to support you in creating the prosperity that you desire in your business and life, I would love to be there to support you in that, but only if you're ready to do the work. So I'll leave the link to my connection call in the comments. And if you are ready, book a call with me and let's have a conversation about what it gets to look like. Okay? All right. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.